If you're selling your course through a landing page or a sales page, whether organically or through meta ads, then this video is going to be very valuable for you because I'm going to share with you the 4 simple tweaks that you make on every landing page or sales page of a course funnel to make the conversions go up by 200%. Now, this is not just a number, we have been doing that over several different offers that we have been running. So, welcome to day 36 of the Offers Turnover Challenge. If you have no idea what we are doing over here, is that we are converting some negative ROAS offers to positive ROAS. What that basically means is that I recently got inside this particular project where we have several different offers running on meta ads. Now, most of these offers are actually losing money, and my goal will be to make these losing money offers and converting them into making money offers so that we can actually take some money home. Okay, so this is a really interesting journey. Today is day 36, and just so you know, I'm not making any kind of monetary claims or claiming that you're going to get the same kind of results, but this is what has been working with me. If you watch the other videos inside of the same challenge, you're going to realize that I'm basically doing the same thing over and over again across several different sales pages. And today I'm going to share all of those 4 things that I'm doing in almost all the sales pages to get better conversions. Okay, so make sure you watch till the end, and without much ado, let's dive inside of day 36. So basically how this works is that I look at the different profiles of different clients. So for example, CT, JK, SW and LC are individual clients, and some of those are in the launching phase, so we are yet to create a sales funnel for them and launch it on meta ads. And for other people, they have already had their offers running on meta ads, so I look at the data and see what we can improve from that to get better conversions. Okay, so without much ado, let's dive inside of the first one. So for CT, we did a deep dive today. So CT is a really in a really interesting niche. He is in a growing social media for health professionals only, so it's a very niche audience, and he has a $197 course, right? And the purchase funnel, the funnel that he has got is a simple purchase funnel where people come to a landing page, which is a sales page, and then they head on to the confirmation page after they have made the purchase, right? So today we did a deep dive. Deep dive basically means we look at the data for the past 14 days and see what are the numbers to get better results. Okay, so for example, CTR is basically these numbers are of the ads, and the remaining numbers are for the funnel, right? So for the ads, we got like 2.91 CTR, and the CPC is like $1.69, and the CPM is like $49. So the ads are performing really well because like the average CTR is like 1 to 2%, but then this one is doing exceptionally well, and then CPC is also very low, which is just it's costing us $1.7 to get one click, and it is costing us $50 to get in front of 1,000 individuals. So this is an amazing ad that we are running, so we are getting really good numbers in there. But on the landing page, we only got 407 views. Not only it was a lot of views, but then we only got like 24 opt-ins, so the opt-in rate is like $5.9, and then we only got one purchase out of them all. So there's something off in the funnel itself, right? So we need to improve the opt-in rate, we need to improve the purchase rate. So the industry average for the opt-in rate is like 8 to 15%, but we are starting at like 5.9, and the purchase rate industry average is 40%, but we are at like 4.17%. So here are all the changes that I suggested the client to get better results. The first one is alter the hero section copy. Okay, so the hero section is basically the first section of the landing page where people see what this offer is about, right? So what I suggested was this particular change where this was to get better credibility for the particular coach, and then there was this headline, and then here was the thing that most of the people would think it's most obvious as a solution, but then I shared like this is the headline that we need to shift to, right? And then in the CTA, so CTA basically means like all the buttons that are present in the landing page, right? So what I suggested was let's change the name of all the buttons, or the text or copy of all the buttons to this. So all of these are like learn the system, get the system, stop waiting, start educating, like claim your platform. So these are like very short CTAs that don't mean anything. So what I suggested was to change it to something that people can relate with in that particular section, right? So for example, in here the first section they're talking about, they just understand something crucial, right? Expertise without accessibility limits your impact. So when they read this, and then the button they see is learn the system, rather than if we change that to unlock the limitless access to influence, then now this makes sense, right? So we were talking about how expertise without accessibility limits your impact, right? So right now I just mentioned that, hey, unlock the limitless access to influence, as simple as that. So we make it relatable to the section so that we come from a point where people are already having this conversation in their head. If we say that on the button, they're going to click on it, right? Because the purpose of any button on a landing page is to have people click on it. So that's why I just changed all the copy for all the buttons to match the section so that we get better clicks. And then I suggested to alter the sticky section copy. Okay, so the sticky section basically is the section which remains constant throughout the scroll. So even if people scroll through the page, this particular section is something that remains constant. So that's why I suggested let's alter that, like from join the academy today button. We are gonna like this was the call to action before. This was the copy and this was the button copy. And then what I suggested was let's change join the academy today to stop paying the price of invisibility, use social media to build a lasting influence while scaling a practice. And then I asked them to change the button copy to this. So now it makes sense for people to even click on the button because they know why they are clicking on it in the first place. Because now they are the goal is to have them stop paying the price of invisibility, right? And then I asked them to check out, like alter the checkout section and add a two-step order form, right? Or the opt-in form over here. Now as you can see over here, the total value is $1,588, right? But then your investment today is just 199. But then I suggested was what I suggested was to change the price to 197 because it's like it sells better. And then have all of this in here as well, so like slightly tweak the checkout section. So here are the checkout section on checkout page optimization. So there were in the checkout page, what I saw was that people had to submit, like create an account on the checkout page itself, right? What that did was it was adding a lot of friction, because of which only 1 out of 24 people went ahead and purchased the offer, right? Like 24 people opted in. That basically means that people are interested in this offer. It's costing us $34 to get one opt-in. So even if we just increase the percentage to like 40%, we would get like 2 to 3 people to sign up for every 6 to 7 opt-ins that we get. That would be the most ideal scenario, right? Just because they have to create an account, type in a password, they have to type in the billing address, all of that stuff, it's adding a lot of friction. So what I suggested was let's simplify the checkout form and just collect the name, email address and card information is all we have to have in order to get the checkout form, like complete the purchase. And then what we can do is, like, this particular client had the entire course inside of Kajabi. So what I suggested was, like, let's use a Zap to create their account automatically so they don't have to sign up, right? And then what we are going to do is we are going to have a split test to see in a variation one, we will have a two-step order form where people can just purchase the product on the sales page itself. And then the second variation, we are going to have a separate checkout page where people can opt in on the sales page and then they go to the checkout page. Now this is a split test that we do in almost every offer, just to make sure which converts better, right? So that is our goal, in order to see what gets better conversion, and whatever gets better conversion we are just going to keep that, because it really varies. For some offers, like for some offers, two-step order form on the sales page itself really gets much better conversion than having a separate checkout page, and in some cases another checkout page does a lot better conversion than having having the checkout on the same page. So that's why we are going to do this split test. Okay, the immediate next steps would be just to go ahead and make all the above optimizations, and then we are going to run the split test for 14 days at the same budget. We will do another deep dive right after. Okay, so what are the four simple tweaks that make any sales page convert? Okay, so at the end of the day, there are only two metrics that really matter in a sales page. The first one is the opt-in rate, and the second one is the purchase rate. And opt-in rate basically means how many people saw the page or viewed the landing page, and how many of them actually opted in or like gave the name and email address to buy that particular offer. And that basically is the opt-in rate. Purchase rate is how many people out of x amount of people, how many people went ahead and purchased the offer from the opt-in. So let's say 20 people opted in, but only 5 people paid for the offer. So the opt-in rate is like 25, the purchase rate is actually 25%, right? So that's how we calculate. These are the two numbers that are most crucial in any kind of landing page. Okay, so in order to optimize the opt-in rate and the purchase rate, we do these four simple tweaks. The first one is change the hero section. So in most of the cases, people don't understand the value of having a proper hero section. A hero section is the first section of any sales page, right? If your audience doesn't instantly feel that they landed on the right page and it makes sense, they won't scroll, And even if you have got a great copy throughout the page, you have written amazing sales letter, none of that is going to matter because people are not going to scroll to it, right? So the hero section is the most crucial section of any kind of landing page or sales pages. And then here are the key things to take care of in the hero section. The first one is the headline of the hero section should match the ad copy and is not something absolutely different. So for example, if you're talking about how to scale your business in 2026 in the ad copy, but then when they land on the page we are talking about how affiliate marketing helps you make $100,000, like that doesn't make sense, right? Because it's the topic or the headline was absolutely different off from the ad copy. So we have to make sure both of that matches so that people realize they landed on the right page. Otherwise they're just going to click away even if they landed on the page, right? So none of that is going to matter. Then the second thing is the hero section must instantly give an idea about the result that the offer will produce, and we shouldn't be talking about the offer itself. So for example, most of the people make a mistake that they were going to write the name of the offer at the first section of the page, right? They are going to say, let's say, um, how to grow your Instagram program, right? So they're going to write that at the hero section, right? At the first section they're going to write the name of the course, or they're going to put their logo. None of that matters, right? At the end of the day we need to show people the result that they are here for. If the result clicks them, then we are going to get a landing page, like a proper quality landing page view, because if they do not desire that particular result, they can just leave. But then if they are scrolling through the landing page after that hero section, that means they want or they desire to have that kind of result, right? And then the third thing is that it must start with a line that immediately makes the coach credible, or it calls out the target audience. So here's the format of a hero section. The first one is the credibility line or audience call out line. Then we have an offer statement, which basically is the line that describes the result. And then we have a without statement. So this is something that what they are thinking is the most obvious solution to this particular result, right? And then finally we are going to have a VSL, which is a video sales letter, where we are talking about the problem, we are showing them the solution, and then we are pitching the offer. So this is the VSL. And then finally we are going to have a button. So here's an example. So for like you see over here, for physical therapists ready to stop competing on price and start charging what you're worth, right? So this is calling out the audience. And then how these protocols are helping physical therapists land elite athletes, clients charging over $300 per session, right? So now this is the result that we are promising, right? So this is clearly talking about the result. And then the first line is actually calling out the people who we want to target. So if people do not relate to these two, they're just not gonna go to the page, they can go out, right? But then after we have shared all of this, we are going to share with them the most obvious thing. They are thinking, oh, if he's getting like $300 per session, he must be in a prime location. But then we talk about it's not about being in prime locations, having fancy equipments, getting more certifications, or adding more hours to already busy schedule. So now they are pretty curious to find out what it is exactly, if it is not all these stuff that I have been already thinking about. You see what I mean? So now it builds curiosity for people to go ahead and scroll or even watch the VSL. Then we have the VSL, and below that we have a button that takes them to the checkout section. But then this is the hero section, okay? This is the first thing that we order in any landing page that is not converting. The second thing is button CTAs. So button CTA is basically the copy that is written in each button, right? So rather than making it very generic, make it based on section the button is present in. Like I mentioned before, over here, like it says, expertise without accessibility limits your impact. Now over here we are going to say unlock the limitless access to influence, as simple as that. So at the end of the day, we want to make the copy of the button very much similar to the copy of the section, so that it makes more sense for them to click on it, right? If you make every button the same, then it doesn't make sense for them to, like, why do I need to join the system? But then if they want to unlock the limitless access to influence, they're going to click on it. So again, like I mentioned, the purpose of any button is to get more clicks so that they can go to the checkout section in the first place, right? This increases the opt-in rate, okay? This hero section increases the scroll rate so that we can get more people to scroll and even watch the offer, right? And then this makes people instantly click with the section as they are already having this conversation in their head, like I mentioned, right? So that's why this is the second thing that we ordered in any landing page: buttons. Then the third thing is adding a sticky section. So a sticky section has a simple CTA line and a button. So a quick hack over here is that rather than making it use centric, make it the problem solution centric. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Over here, as you can see, it says join the name of the client academy today. Okay, and then the button says join now. So like I mentioned before, a sticky section basically is a section that remains constant throughout the scroll. So if people scroll, even if people scroll, this section will be there. Now if the call to action is join this academy today and then join now, like why do I need to join this academy in the first place, right? So that's why what we have to do is just make it problem solution centric. How do you make it? So rather than saying this particular thing like join the Sugai academy today, like and then we have join now, we are going to say stop paying the price of invisibility, use social media to build a lasting influence while scaling your practice. Right now where the button is going to be like yes, help me influence and scale. Now if it makes sense for them to like, or they desires having an influence in scaling their practices, then they're going to click on it, right? So it's more like solution centric, right? Or it's more like the desire centric, so it makes more sense for them to even click on it. So when they click on it, they go to the checkout page, the checkout section, right? So again, the purpose of this is to increase the opt-in rate and get more clicks. Now this section is remains constant throughout the page, so even if they scroll through the page and they cannot find a button, they can, this section is just going to be there so that they can go ahead and click on it anytime that they want, because this remains constant, right? So this is why adding a sticky section on any sales page is like really helpful in getting better opt-ins and eventually more conversions. Right now, once we have all of this like clicks, right, once we have taken people to the checkout section, so checkout section is a section which talks to them about the offer and then has the checkout form in it. So it's either a two-step order form or they just opt in here and go to the checkout page, right? So either of these. So what we do in the checkout section finally, in order to increase the purchase rate, is this: we just alter the checkout section, right? The checkout section is where we have the order form calendar for people to purchase the offer or schedule a call with us, right? So it works for both of the offers. But then for the program sales, the structure is very simple. If you are selling something, then we are going to have a mock-up, then we are going to have an offer statement, then we are going to have is the offer stack, which is like you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, like with the value and all of that. And then we are going to say the total value for this particular offer is this much, and then when we launch this offer it's going to be this much, but then your investment today is going to be only this much, right? And then we have a two-step order form, and after that we have a guarantee line. So I'm going to give you an example. But then for calendar section, the offer structure is very simple, is that we are going to have an offer statement which basically is the offer statement that we put in the beginning of the page, slightly alter it, right? And then we are going to have a select a time that best suits you. So like that's the line that's going to be there, and then we are going to have an embedded calendar. We are not going to talk about the offer, we are just going to talk about the transformation, so that people can know if they desire the transformation, they can simply go ahead and reserve a spot for with us, and then on the call we can walk them through and everything. And then here's an example. So here's the mockup. Let's just say that this is a mockup. What we do is like after the mockup, we are going to have the offer statement, which is become AI or recession proof in your job, and an irreplaceable leader by simply mastering the art of increasing your team's efficiency that saves your company over $50,000, right? And then here's what everything you're going to get, and then we are going to go through the stack. So the complete stack we are going to put over here, and then the total value is going to be this much. When we launch it, it will be $497, but only for today it's or like right now it's going to be $297. And then this line is just an extra line that we put for this particular offer, and then after that we're going to have a two-step order form where people can actually opt in first and then go ahead and make the purchase on the sales page itself. And then we're going to have the guarantee line. So guarantee line is pretty simple, like we have a 60-day guarantee. If you don't like this or you don't feel confident in leading a team or becoming irreplaceable, you can ask for a refund and we'll give you every penny back. Then the purpose of this is to like recap the whole offer and increase the purchase rate. As simple as that. This is the purpose of the checkout section. Okay, we need to alter the checkout section in the same format. If you simply follow this format, you're going to get more sales. I can promise you that. And then over here, like I mentioned in the split test as well, if you want to do the split test to see which one converts the better for your particular offer, by all means please do that. Split test you can do in ClickFunnels, you can do in Go High Level, whatever platform you're using. I'm pretty sure you can do a split test in there, right? So do a split test in there. And then finally here's a case study where, like, just to justify the thumbnail, so for TG, if you see, like, we have been talking about TG for a while now. In the previous day 35, if you see day 34 and 35's video, we talk about like how he has been consistent with getting profitable ROAS for the past 3 weeks, right? And fashion, he's actually a fashion brands launch course, so he helps fashion brands launch and make like a lot of money, right? Have 5 figure 6 figure launches. And then before I came inside of this particular project, we had already spent like $900 for him, and he did not get any sales. But after I came in altering these 4 areas, he has consistently achieved like positive ROAS for the past 3 weeks. You can watch day 35, day 30, and then day 25, and you're gonna see the results. Okay, and then averaging at least 2x ROAS with just the front end offer, only the front end offer. We do not have any kind of upsells, we haven't had any kind of order bumps for him, just the front end offer. He's like a positive ROAS. Now we are planning on creating a back end offer for him so that he can even increase that. So he went from zero sales to consistent 2x ROAS. So it's not just a 200% jump, but a lot. Now this is just one of the a lot of case studies that you're going to see, like for all the offers that are positive right now. All of them, we are altering just these 4 sections. The first one is hero section, the second one is the button, and then third one is the sticky section, and finally altering the checkout section. Just these 4 things. So I hope this video was helpful, like this particular part. Let me know in the comment section what was your best takeaway, but then let's move on to the next one. So for JK, he was a new client, so I strategized his offer, right? And what I did was, like, I just finalized what kind of funnel we can use for him, what will be the course and all of that. So finally what we decided was it would be firefighters health recovery course, right? And it will be an $197 course, right? So I did the market research, avatar research, and the complete offer breakdown, like what the front end offer is going to look like, what the back end offer, like the course is going to look like that we are going to upsell, and then all the other elements like the bonuses and all of that. I strategized all of them. And then the customer journey is pretty simple. Like, we are going to have an ad, then we are going to get people to a landing page which will be selling a low ticket content offer, which is like $27, and then we are going to have an upsell of the main course that we are going to build for him, and then we are going to just onboard the client. As simple as that. Okay, and then the third thing that we did for the day was a deep dive for SW. So let's go into SW deep dive. So SW is also in a really interesting niche, which is healing, and then her course is $222, and then her funnel is pretty simple, like a landing page, you go to the confirmation page, right? So here are the numbers. We spent like $449, we did not get any sales. However, if you see the cost per click on this particular offer is like $0.23, which is like very low, and the CPM is like only $6, less than $6, which is insane. The ads are performing insanely well, but then people are not clicking on the landing page. So again, like I mentioned before, what we are doing is like alter the hero section, like I already mentioned, and then here are all the suggestions that I made, like replace the headline, add a sub headline, and then make the sticky section background a little bit solid. So here's how it's looking like right now, right? It was really off. So because, like, what the client did was, like, after we had made the suggestion, and they went and altered this to make it like this. So it really um, looked very clumsy, and then it did not get any conversions because of it, right? We did not even get one opt-in from 368 people landing on the page, which is insane. And at the same time, this is like a really valuable niche where everybody wants to get out of therapy and all of that stuff. So this clearly is the problem. So I just asked them to remove all of this, reduce the size. So all of this I just suggested them so that we can get better conversion, right? So like alter the hero section, and then make the sticky section background solid, and then tweak the copy of the sticky section, and then finally make sure the button in the sticky section is pointing to the checkout section, because right now it wasn't doing that. And then finally either remove the logo or reduce the size. And then finally, the video format, if you see over here, it was like a very long form video where if people scroll to the page on the phone itself, they would like the video would entirely cover the screen. So that wouldn't be an ideal situation for any kind of funnel to work. So the VSL has to be in one-on-one format. So that's what I suggested, and then just alter, make the above changes, and we are gonna run the ads to see how if we get better conversions. And then the last thing that we did for the day was a deep dive for LC. Let's go into LC over here. So LC is also in a really interesting niche, which is supplements substitute. So they show people how what their body actually needs as a supplement, right? And then she has got a $297 course. So when I walked in, they had never sold a course of $297. But then after coming in, I suggested we have a low ticket front end offer, which actually got a lot of sales. Like last week it was positive ROAS, but then it did not get any sales this week. So we did a deep dive, right? So here are the numbers. We did not get any sales, but we got 5 opt-ins on this particular offer, and then the landing page views were 104. So we had already made a lot of changes, so I just made some changes on the checkout section, which is like altering the value for each section, just adding that, and then the total value, and that's it. So we are going to see if this converts after that, and yeah, let's see how this converts. But as you saw, like at the end of the day, we are just making those 4 tweaks in almost all the offers that we work in, right? So I hope this entire video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comment section what was your best takeaway, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. For me personally, the best takeaway was the 4 moves, like just jotting down the 4 moves that I do. And I just wanted to make this video about that, because that is something that we do in almost all the offers, and I'm pretty sure if you're running a course through a sales page, then this is going to be valuable for you as well. So let me know in the comment section what was the best takeaway, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Till then, keep creating for a change.